Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 87 of the podcast. As you can see, I am in a new place. I'm actually sitting in my comfy bed. This is my first time doing my podcast episode, not sitting at a desk. I see these podcasters that are like just chilling in their bed with their cup of coffee. Probably a little dangerous because I'm like about to spill this, but they're podcasting from their bed. I'm like, I don't have an office right now because we're like setting up in this new place that me and my friends moved into. So I'm just using my room as my workspace, which has been actually okay for the time being. And I have a really cute bedroom. So I'm like, why not record a podcast episode here today? So a little bit of a life update. Over the past 2 weeks, I was actually out of office and I was traveling around Colombia and I went to some cute little towns in Colombia. So I visited Guatapé, which is this colonial town about like an hour and a half drive from Medellin, where I'm currently living. I spent a night there, which is really nice. Right now in Colombia, it's rainy season. So during the 2 weeks I was off, it actually rained quite a bit. Definitely had a lot of showers walking in the rain on some days that I was traveling around Colombia. And I went to this other town called Jardín, which is similar to Guatapé, but it's much more local. Not a lot of tourists actually go down to Jardín. Super cute town. I feel like it's one of those places where when you retire, you go there to live, because what I noticed when I was there is that a lot of the Colombians, they just like hang out in the park, they're drinking their coffee, they're spending time with like their family. And it's just a very slow kind of life and it's very quiet, very, very cute town. And that town is about a 3 hour drive from Medellin. So a little bit further away, but absolutely worth it if you're someone who is planning to visit Colombia and you kind of like that slower paced, cute little town vibes, then Jardín is like the one. Otherwise, Medellin's a very busy city, so it gets quite crazy out here. But now I'm in a new place and I'll be here for the next year, which I'm super excited. If you guys know me and have been listening to my podcast for the past year, I've been jumping all over the place for the past year. And so I can confidently say that I'm no longer moving around. I may do short trips here and there, but this is my home and you'll be seeing lots of episodes in this exact space. Some other updates is that I recently launched my Gut Brain Skin Restoration Club membership. We started in the beginning of October, so this month. And so over the past week, I've been seeing a lot of one-on-one clients and doing their initial assessments, writing their protocols. We hosted our very first group call earlier this month. And actually, the night before this podcast episode is being released, we would be doing our monthly meditation. So as a part of our membership, we have monthly calls, group calls, and a monthly meditation mindfulness session that we do together as a group. And then all of my VIP clients also get one-on-one calls with me every month. VIP right now is currently sold out. However, if you're someone that still would like to work with me and you are wanting to be in a group setting, then the general membership is available for you to register in. So you can check that out in the show notes. So today's episode, I actually wanted to do kind of like a quickie episode, more on a client success story. I like sharing client success stories on my podcast because I'm sure a lot of you guys find it very inspiring to hear that healing is always possible and it can happen for you in a short period of time for a lot of people. Obviously, there are cases where healing can take a much longer. I have clients that take, a year or two or more, but I also have clients who are able to see changes in their skin, in their gut, in their symptoms within a matter of weeks and even within a matter of months. And so in today's client success story, I want to share a client with you who, prior to working with me, she was experiencing 8 different chronic symptoms. And within just 2 months of working one-on-one with me, she went from 8 symptoms down to 2. So what I like to do in client success story episodes is always explain to you guys what we did in her healing journey, what her symptoms were, and what her root causes were as well, which is something that we were able to identify. So for my client's case, and I have my notes on the side so I don't forget if I miss anything that's important for you guys to know and learn from. And so my client came to me with 8 different symptoms. She had anxiety, sugar cravings, very dry skin and chapped lips, chronic fatigue, no matter how many hours of sleep that she was getting at night, nausea, especially after meals, but she would also get random nausea throughout the day, tension headaches, low back pain, and acne. And she was experiencing all 8 of these symptoms for an entire year. So upon doing a clinical assessment, which is something that I do with all of my one-on-one clients, is looking at their medical history, their clinical history, their nutrition, anything that can help me figure out what is causing all of her symptoms that she's experiencing. And so looking into her history, she was severely burnt out over the past year because of work stress and because of school. And so as a result of all the stress she was experiencing from her work and school, she started to notice a lot of these headaches she kept experiencing every day. She was always fatigued, no matter how many hours of night that she would sleep. Of course, she was also experiencing all the other symptoms that I listed earlier. My client also had a history of taking a lot of antibiotics in the last few years, about 3 to 4 rounds of antibiotics, because she kept getting chronic UTIs, which is urinary tract infections. And when women get this, when we get UTIs for whatever reason, a lot of it can actually be gut related and candida related. But when you go to the doctor, the first thing that they'll always do to help you manage your UTIs is antibiotics. So they would prescribe you antibiotics for your UTI. It would heal, and then a lot of times people keep getting UTIs after that. Because of course, when you take antibiotics, it not only destroys the bad bacteria in the gut, but it also destroys the good bacteria in the gut. So for my client's case, she kept getting recurrent UTIs because she would be on these antibiotics. It would heal the UTIs. And because her gut was compromised from recurrent antibiotic treatments, she kept getting also recurrent UTIs. Along with that and her stress from over the past year, she also struggled a lot with her nutrition because she was really busy with school. She didn't always have time to cook nutritious meals. She often skipped meals, especially for breakfast. Sometimes she wouldn't even eat at all. And so as a result of that, she also started to develop nutrient deficiencies, especially iron deficiencies. And so we were able to balance that, which I'll share with you guys exactly what we did to help with that. We figured out that she was not only nutrient deficient, but her gut was severely compromised because of stress and previous antibiotic use. She was also experiencing nausea because she wasn't eating enough, and she also wasn't able to digest her foods very well. So you can see how everything is linked, right? All of our body systems are interconnected. So her stress was obviously the main root cause that caused all of these symptoms, but it's kind of like a domino effect. When you have so much stress in your life, it literally impacts all areas of your body. Her digestion shut down, which is why she probably wasn't absorbing the foods that she was eating, leading to symptoms like dry skin, chapped lips. She was getting the nausea. She was also very fatigued. When you are chronically stressed and you don't have tools to manage your stress and your body is in constant fight or flight, your adrenals are going to be overworked. And your adrenals are the organ that helps to regulate your cortisol levels. So one of the classic signs of your adrenals being overworked is you have chronic fatigue. Especially, you notice that you sleep enough hours, right? You wake up feeling fatigued, and then you go to bed, but you're feeling tired and wired. So you're wired at night, but then you're tired in the day. That's a classic symptom of adrenal fatigue or an overworked adrenals. And that was something that my client was experiencing. So my client's protocol involved focusing on 3 things. First and foremost, the foundations before you start taking a bunch of supplements is to focus on getting your diet balanced. So for her case, because she was skipping meals, we had to start adding balanced meals back into her diet, especially for breakfast, because she wasn't eating enough. We needed to add in lots of protein, fats, and fiber. When you don't eat enough, you're going to be nutrient deficient, and you need macronutrients like protein, fats, and fiber to give you energy, to balance your blood sugars, to heal your skin. So by simply just making that change with her diet, adding in a breakfast, her nausea started to go away. She also had really bad sugar cravings, which is a symptom of candida, but by adding more protein and the fiber and the fats in her diet, she started to notice her sugar cravings heal. And because her gut was severely compromised from previous antibiotic use and chronic stress, we had to make sure we added in specific foods. So lots of prebiotics, lots of probiotics, and a lot of diversity and color in her diet. The more color you get in your diet, the more healing it is for your skin and for your body. For her supplements, we only chose the ones that targeted her root cause. Her root causes were gut dysbiosis and candida, stress, and nutrient deficiencies. We used antifungals to kill off the candida. We also used digestive enzymes to help break down the foods that she was eating. And then because of her multiple rounds of antibiotics she was on previously, we had to put her on an intensive probiotic to heal the gut. And then for her stress, obviously the mindfulness is going to come first. A supplement is not going to heal her, but what she did was that she took 2 really good supplements, a good quality B complex and ashwagandha. She started incorporating more mindfulness into her daily routine in order to bring her stress levels down and regulate more of that nervous system. And by focusing on this protocol that I created with her, she literally saw changes within a month. I remember seeing her a month after and she was like, I'm already feeling better. I don't have as much nausea and I'm feeling more energized these days. So it's really interesting how small changes in your lifestyle can make such a big difference within just a few weeks and just a few months. And at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. For her case, she was confused about like which supplements to take. And it's really important not to take just any kind of supplement. It's really important to get a practitioner to actually choose the right supplement for you. Otherwise, if it was that easy for people to heal their symptoms and their root causes from just taking supplements, then everybody would heal, right? It's important to address the body as a whole and not just look at symptoms on its own. Everything is connected to different root causes, which is what we found for her. My client needed a tailored protocol for her case because her root causes are going to be very different from another client's, right? And so having that assessment and looking at her clinical history, medical history, is why we were able to figure out what exactly we need to change when it comes to her diet, her lifestyle, and her supplements. And so within just 2 months, she went from having all 8 of those chronic symptoms down to only 2 symptoms. So this is just to show you that if you're someone who is experiencing a lot of issues with your gut, you're having eczema flares, you're having a lot of fatigue, and all of these symptoms that seem very random, just remember that it's not, right? There's always a reason why you have these symptoms. And as soon as you can figure out what the root cause of that is and have a proper plan to address it, you will see improvement no matter what. If you're doing the right thing for your body, you're giving your body the nutrient that it needs, support that it needs, you will always, always, always see healing. And that's one of the questions I get. How do I know if it's working and is it going to work? And my answer to that is whatever good things that you do for your body is always going to heal it. You're always healing no matter what, even if you're still noticing symptoms. It's a matter about being consistent and following the protocol, which is something that actually my client was very, very good with. She was very determined. She did everything I told her to do. And of course, she experienced the results, right? So this is a story I want to share with you to let you know that healing is definitely possible when you are clear on what to do and you have the guidance. And if you want to read a little bit more about her story, she actually left me a very beautiful review. You can check out her review in the show notes below. And if you're someone who is looking for support, you can apply for coaching in the show notes below as well. If this episode helped you, please don't forget to leave us a review and rating on Apple iTunes. This is the only way that the podcast will grow, and I'll really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.